There's a scripture that I want to share with you, and we sung a lot about it this morning. It's taken from Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31, and I'm going to read the first part of it right now, and then I'll read the second part of it in a little while. But it says, "Yet those who wait for the Lord will gain new strength." I want to show you something this morning. Let me move these just for a second to kind of explain this verse just a little bit. I have 2 glasses of water here, and I don't know about you, but in our family, at least the girls and I, we enjoy a nice ice-cold glass of tea. How many of you like tea? Especially on a hot summer day. We like tea in our household. And I haven't had any all weekend, and I just thought I would make some tea this morning just because I'm thirsty, and it's a good drink. So any day now you can make tea. So I'm really thirsty for some tea. Come on. Well, I can't wait any longer. I just need a drink of tea. But it doesn't taste like tea. Why is that? What do I need to do to make it taste like tea? I've got to let it sit there for a little bit. I got to wait on it. You see, boys and girls, the longer the tea bag is left in the water, the stronger the flavor will be. And that's exactly how it is with us. The Bible tells us several times that we are to wait on the Lord. But there's a problem in our world. It's not always a problem, but sometimes it creates a problem. And that problem is that we live in a world that tells us we don't have to wait. See, boys and girls, our world has taught us how to get things done fast, how we don't have to wait for anything. We now have cell phones. We have computers where you can talk online 24/7. We have all those wonderful technologies, and those are great things that shows progress. At Disney World, there's a ride that's called Carousel Progress, and it's one of my favorite rides. It's not really a ride, really. It's necessarily it's a moving theater, but it starts out from the bare minimum before they had any of these things, and by the end of it, it's the highest technology that you could think of, and yet there are flaws. The oven is like where you can just speak what you want it to cook at. And if you say, okay, I want this turkey to cook at 450 for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever you want to tell it to do, and this oven would do it. But however, in their conversation, the family that they're portraying in their conversation, he says a number, 850, or one of the boys is doing a video game, one of those reality where you put the goggles on your face here and you feel like you're really there. I don't know what those are called. Virtual reality. There, it came to me. Okay. And so he's doing that, and he goes, 850. Well, the oven hears that, and the oven, it bursts up to 850, and they burn their Thanksgiving dinner. And so there's flaws in technology as well. We found that out yesterday when we were here. The internet of the church was down, and so we had difficulties getting a radar so we'd know what the weather was going to be like. So technology is good, but it also breaks down. But the world is teaching us that we don't have to wait. And some of you guys are old enough to understand some areas in your life that might be hard to wait. The world's teaching you that you don't have to wait. And if I could say this in the easiest way to say it with little ears in here too as well, is that babies are having babies. Because our world is telling young ladies, you don't need to wait. There are other temptations that come our way, that hit our society, that say, you don't have to wait. And when we have to wait, it's like one of those, we have to wait 5 minutes for something, and we're like, freaking out. But our world tells us that we don't have to wait. But there are times when it is hard to wait for things. There's difficult times. When situations that we're thrown with are difficult, it's hard to wait on the Lord and see Him move in that situation. It's hard when we go through radical changes in our families to just wait on the Lord to repair our heart and to get us ready. Yeah, there was a time in our life, about this time last year, we had been off work. My husband had no work for a year. And it was a situation that came upon us suddenly without any warning, and poof, he was without work. And he was a pastor. And it was devastating to our family. And it was very difficult for us to go through, and it was very hard for me to watch this man of God face one of the hardest times in his life. He felt abandoned, betrayed. And we all felt the effects in our family. And just shortly after last Superkids, God, after a year of waiting, God opened a door for us to be in ministry again. But that time of waiting, I can look back at that now and think, wow, look what God did through that waiting time. Just like that scripture says, those that wait upon the Lord will gain new strength. It doesn't mean our old strength is going to get strengthenier. God's going to give us new strength. And during that time, God allowed wonderful people, wonderful friends to come along our side and lift us up and to help us. They prayed for us. They encouraged us. And they were there for us. And we are eternally grateful for their help. Why is it so important to God that we wait? He wants to strengthen us.